Live from Town Square Towers at the heart of the Jersey Shore. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Get up, get out, do something. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 6:07 Tuesday, December 13th, 32 degrees. Getting up to 45 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop app at WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. I'm joined by my co-host, Phil Brilliant, and we are joined by our guest, Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming in. You know, it's really our pleasure. We have to fill spots, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Well, that's the funny thing is when I got asked to come in from Tom from Wingman, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and I live in Freehold, I think I was like sent to purgatory or something.
So you're saying you don't usually get up at 4:30 in the morning?
Oh, I get up a lot earlier than that sometimes to cover some clients.
Oh, that's true. Okay, because you're in the limo. I'll tell you what, so I will tell you, having a background in retail, people always said to me that the retail business was the worst, like for the hours and everything. And I always said, no, it's worse to be in food service. Right, because those hours are miserable.
Yeah, that's tough.
I got to imagine your hours are crazy, though.
Well, see, I just got a fancy title called Director of Operations.
Right.
It really is just a catch-all.
Yeah.
So if I get a client that calls my cell because it switches over after 6 o'clock to my cell, that forgot to make a reservation and is traveling on business today at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get that call at 12 or 12:30 in the morning, guess who's getting up?
How many guesses do I get?
You get 2.
Okay.
One's my wife and
you.
one's me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That must be. So is there? I mean, there obviously does that cut down on your social life and everything? I mean, because you're.
It does.
Really?
It does.
That's...
Yeah, we're from Buffalo, so we're actually going home for the holidays next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coming back on Monday. And for some reason this year, especially with Christmas being on the weekend, we're slammed.
Right.
And I'm one reservation away from maybe not going home for the holiday.
Really? Okay. So talk to me, because it seems so simple, but you're in the limo business. But I think when I picture a limo business, I picture a car service kind of thing. But you do a lot more than that, right? I mean, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. I mean, we're a full service limousine company, and as you can see by the brochure, we do a lot of airports. We do a lot of corporate work. Our fleet is all brand new, state of the art, and then we got the high end stuff. The stretches, the trolleys, and party buses.
Yeah, I mean, do you actually have cars too?
Cars.
Because I see you got. So there's a Lincoln. That's like that's like a crossover. That's for like a high.
The MKT, the little black one.
Yeah,
yeah. That's your car.
That's
our sedan.
That's the sedan.
And then I drive the SUV.
You drive
That's my personal use.
The Yukon.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the stretch SUV.
Yeah, that's the Infinity. That's a crazy car.
Yeah, that's cool. Because I have a QX80, but obviously mine's a little shorter.
Yeah. Well, ours started that way.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It started that way.
Yeah. And then you got then there's the big MKT stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the executive van and the trolley.
Correct.
Now, wait a second. Where do I go with the trolley? The trolley's like a party bus, right?
It's set up like the old-fashioned trolleys with the wooden benches, faced forward. Basically, we use that. That's a big specialty vehicle for weddings on the shore. So we're down LBI a lot with that, and the Jersey Shore, of course. We're based in Manasquan, so we get that whole gamut of the ocean, which is cool.
You always see the pictures on Facebook of people, going from the church to the fair in the trolley and all hanging out and everything like that.
Yeah, and we're actually gonna.
You're not taking that to the airport.
Yeah, no, and we'll use that for prom season because it'll be eventually where we don't have any more vehicles and someone's going to desperately need a party bus, and I'll say, well, this is all we got left, though, so we want it.
Wait, so what would be the party bus so there's no party bus on?
Yeah, we don't have.
You have an actual party bus though.
32 passengers, state of the art, crazy.
Really?
Bus, yeah.
And
no dancing poles. We had to take them up.
No dancing.
That was my question.
No, DOT in New Jersey is pretty strict. They don't want you to have dancing poles, which is okay.
But you're allowed to drink, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. Okay.
You just can't have a pole.
Yeah, they don't want that because people get kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how I get around a dancing
I've actually
pole.
got a chapter in my book I'm writing, and one of them is the dancing pole in my bus, because originally we had the pole and we had to take it out. So
for some reason, I feel like I would like to read that. Are you? Actually, I probably am less interested in reading the book and more interested in seeing the movie, quite frankly. All right, let's back.
The good and bad and ugly.
Yeah,
probably.
let's backtrack for a second there, Mike. How did you end up in the limo business? Because this is not. I don't believe that most kids are in high school going, one day I want to drive a stretch limo for a living and run a fleet of stretch. Well, how do you end up here?
Well, it's funny because you would if your parents maybe owned a limo company and you gravitated to it.
Yeah.
My parents, I used to train racehorses. We're originally from Buffalo. So I trained racehorses. I had no family ties with racehorses. I had a bar. Well, my uncle owned the bar, so I guess I had my first beer when I was at my uncle's bar when I was old enough. So that kind of gravitated me to a bar. And then what happened was I opened a Brigada back in 2003. And then they built the, we opened July 3rd at midnight to July 4th.
You opened what? What do you mean you opened it?
I was an employee that started before we opened. And we were on,
what were you doing at the Borgata?
I was in premium services.
That sounds really cryptic.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You took care of people.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, we'll move along.
Okay, so then the following summer, they decide, hey, we don't have a beach. So we got to go rent the beach at Brigantine. Now, how do we get the people from the Brigada to the Brigantine Beach? So I says, well, I can do this. And that's how it started. I went out and bought a van and a small party bus, a limo bus, and then from there it just got bigger and better.
So let me just review real quick, Mike, because I'm not gonna lie.
You're looking at me kind of funny.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's stuck in the premium.
There are very few people that I'm jealous of. Right, because I feel like I have a pretty good life. I feel like things are pretty good.
I'll swap.
I feel like I do okay. And I'm looking back at a life in horse trading, bars, limos.
I think that's going to be
Atlantic City, right? Atlantic City opening the Borgata, and I'm thinking, you partied a little bit in your time, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is not I want to read that book.
Yeah.
Are you seeing your future, Jeremy?
I'm like, no, because
It's too late now.
Is this a mirror?
It's over. I didn't even make it to my senior prom. This guy's senior prom never ended.
Yeah, that's true.
This is great.
And it's funny because every year at senior prom time, we get to relive it again.
Yeah.
And, my big speech to the kids are, been there, done that. So, you're not going to pull anything over on me.
Yeah. All right. Look, in the next segment, I want to get into some stories because I'm sure you got some stories. But before I get into that, I got to ask you, let's get the seriousness out of the way because we got to get more to the fun stuff. But what differentiates one limo service, one car service from another? Because, you go into the yellow pages and, there's 30 different choices. What's the difference?
Google maybe. I don't think is Yellow Pages still around?
Listen, that's all right. Forget it. What differentiates it?
Well, I think there's a couple of things in play. One is customer service, of course, is the number one factor. Anybody can go out and get a limo if you can get financed.
Right.
They're so expensive. And you open a limo company. But the trick is to get people in there to have fun and to just make the customer feel like it's special because they're not cheap. The other thing is the fact that we ourselves have a brand new fleet. We have the newest fleet on the Jersey Shore, and we're always thinking outside the box. Like you see that one big stretch, the Infinity that we were talking about. That's got a disco floor in it. It's got a disco ceiling. It's got a Learjet door. I mean, you don't see that stuff.
Right.
That's a party in itself. You don't really need to go to the party.
Makes it a whole experience, huh?
And it's got underlighting, so it lights up all different colors. It's got strobes on the outside.
And what area do you service?
Well, we're based out of Manasquan, but we service the whole Jersey Shore.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, when we come back, Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos. I got to know the who's, right? And I got to know the what's.
I got some stories for you.
If you have pictures, we'll share here.
Yeah, we'll keep those amongst ourselves. Yeah. But, more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, co-hosted with Phil Brouillon. Back after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Myself and Phil Brilliant here with Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos. We were just talking to Mike. He says you said there's no truth to the rumor that you left Buffalo because you couldn't deal with the Bills losing another Super Bowl.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I love the Bills.
All right, good. All right, just wanted to make sure. And you said that you actually what did you say? You mentioned something about O.J. Simpson. And...
I had a bar back in the day, and they would come in on, Tuesday was their off day, I think. So they would come in Monday night. Him, Bobby Chandler, Reggie McKenzie, all them guys would pop in. And all I can remember of O.J. when he was the good guy, when he'd come in, he had these new pair of white sneakers, and he'd kind of squeak across the room as he was walking in with a whole load of girls just following him.
I'm sure. Yeah. Do you remember if he was wearing gloves at the time? No,
I don't think so.
No, remember. Okay.
No.
All right.
It was too cold for gloves. He needed them in L.A. because it was warm.
But enough about O.J. Simpson. So in the limo business, right? Have you had any clients who we may have heard of?
Oh, we've had a few. Yeah. A few I could talk about, and a few I can't talk about. Well,
so who would you
tell us the ones you can't talk about?
Yeah, right.
It's just us. It's just the three of us.
Nobody else is listening. It's AM radio.
Yeah.
It's
6:15 in the morning.
Everybody's in the shower.
So talk to us. Who can you talk about?
I got to tell you, my favorite of all times, and I was trying to look for a picture on my phone, but we come back on too quick. Cheech and Chong.
Really?
I swear to God.
Both of them.
I had to pick them up at the hotel at Newark. They were doing a show in Asbury Park. I had the SUV. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Cheech is in the foyer. I walk out and introduce myself. He says, "How do you know it was me?" It's like, yeah, okay. So he gets Tommy on the phone. They come. Tommy's with his wife. Cheech sits in the front seat with me. Tommy and his wife sit in the second row. Cheech looks over at my radio and says, "Hey, dude, you got satellite radio?" I said, "Yeah. Put on Sinatra, man." They sang Sinatra songs, all three of them, from Newark Airport to Asbury Park. I get to the convention center at Asbury, and there's a talent gate where we pull in. It's locked, so that fans aren't touching them. And there's 150 fans waiting outside for them.
Right.
They finish their Sinatra song, turn off the car, get out of the car. Now they're Cheech and Chong. It was the most hilarious thing. And then after the show, they said they're hungry. So I says, okay.
Well, clearly they had the munchies. Go ahead.
Yeah. So where do you want to go? So they says, Italian. No, Italian. That's what his wife said, Tommy's wife said. So I found a place. I go in, tell him that I got Cheech and Chong in the car. The maitre d's like, yeah, okay. What are you smoking? I said, no, I really do. The guy comes out, looks, it's Cheech and Chong.
Right.
So they get a table for him. Now, at night, our chauffeurs are all dressed in black. We don't wear suits and ties unless it's a funeral. So we have the black shirt with the black, sport coats and everything. And he says to me, "You're coming in." I says, No, I got to park the car. I go, No, you're coming in. You look like my security detail. So, of course, I sat there for dinner and listened to a few of their stories, and they were pretty funny. Yeah. Really down to earth.
Yeah. I am thinking here. I'm like, I have
a visual.
I am thinking actually like Howard Stern, like Ronnie the limo driver thing going on here. Right?
Well, I mean, that could be another segment. But yeah, I did some work for Rat Radio in the day, and they have the Men's Expo. They used to have the Men's Expo. So I get this fax from them, and it's adult video star, Playboy, Playmate, Penthouse Playmate, adult video star. I got to go get all these girls.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So
that's
like, hey, what do you do?
Yeah, sometimes it's tough what you do.
All right, so Cheech and Chong. Anyone else that you have a good one about?
That was the most one that really struck me as the most down to earth, hilarious.
Right. And one that you could share legitimately.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've had some crazy calls where. We had to go pick up celebrities that we didn't know who they were. They would make us send 2 stretches to 2 separate hotels in the city.
Right.
One was a phony pickup. They didn't want no one to know who
Yeah, I got you.
The same thing, he'd bring them over.
Phil and I do that. We always travel in separate cars just in case, because who would do Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin?
Well, it's like the president, right? I guess him and the vice president ain't hanging together.
They used to do that with the 3 people that had the that had like
suitcase.
the Coke recipe.
Yeah.
Remember they had, it was
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were only 2 people in the world who knew how to make Coke.
Yeah.
And the 3 limos would go and they go in different directions. Yeah.
Hey, when we get back, Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos, all this talk of debauchery, but you do a lot of work. You do a lot of work in the community as well, right? Giving back.
Yes, we do.
So I want to talk about that when we get back. All right.
Great.
Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos, here with my co-host, my co-pilot, Phil Brilliant, and Zach.
Yeah, it's like Penn and Teller here. I'll just sit back.
I don't know which one I am. More Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin after this.
The news never stops at WOBMAM.com. Get the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:33, Tuesday, December 13th, 32 degrees, getting up to 45 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. I am joined by my co-host, Phil Brilliant, and we are joined by our guest, Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos. Mike, I respect the fact that I believe that I could probably kill 3 or 4 days just looking at the pictures on your phone. Right? I think it would be a really good 3 or 4 days.
I'd have a lot of fun showing them to because it brings back a lot of fun.
I'm telling you. Yeah. But we can also see the metamorphosis of you from the frizzy hair days to the salt and pepper goatee days to today.
To no hair.
So today's Mike Grieco is very active in the community, aside from doing all this fun stuff that you've done. So why don't you talk about some of the causes that you're active with?
Well, our biggest one, and she was a guest on your show a while back this summer, Daniela's Wish. Daniela's mom worked for me a couple of years, going back maybe 5 years now, for a summer. And got to meet her and her daughters, and didn't know much about Daniela. At the time, she was 7 years old. She just started her foundation, 8 years old, and realized she was the real deal. So we kind of took her under our wing and got her trade show banner and her tablecloth for when we did things at the malls and things, and got her some business cards. And then next thing you know, a couple other of our friends, very big in the community, said, hey, let's make this a 501c3, and we started a board and did that. So I'm the sitting vice president of that, and my wife and I are founding board members.
Very cool, very cool. And it's a great cause. And yeah,
we just had a board meeting last night, and a couple of wishes came in, and it's like, you can't help everybody for what they want, but you sure try, especially now during holiday season.
Right. Very cool. So, Mike, I am, listen, this is actually really good timing because, we were just talking yesterday. Because we're heading to, we have a trip in Vegas planned.
Oh,
right? And so we're like,
you want me to drive you guys?
Well, not to Vegas. Although, I don't know. Now I'm kind of reconsidering. But
you can take him along as a personal driver.
But it's good. We were looking for a car service. And now I'm like, I know where I'm going, so that's good news.
Yeah, thank you.
We also had another car story. My in-laws came back yesterday from Israel, and they called home on Sunday and said, by the way, did you get us a car service yet for Monday? And the 2 daughters are both like, my wife and her sister are like, what? Were you going to tell us that? You must get that a lot, though. Do you get like do you get like the 11th hour? Somebody says, hey, I need a car service, and how do you deal with that?
I mean, I'm like the last man standing in our company, so I don't try to put myself on the road unless I have to. And then I'm the one that is the emergency guy.
Right. But it happens, right?
It happens
and you have to do it in the name of, because that if you come through for that customer or that client, that they'll be a client for life, right?
I mean, we got a call. This is going back 2 years ago. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, guy wanted a stretch at 3 o'clock. And he explained that a company that he used for a long time just bailed on him.
Wow.
And it was an older company with older cars, and I think the car broke down and didn't have a stretch. So he says, do what you can for me. I called back, maneuvered. I wound up sending my wife. He wound up going to New York, a big executive from our area, a construction guy. And they had dinner at Del Frisco's. He had them, he goes there so much, he had them put cones out front at Del Frisco's for my wife to pull up with the car, with the stretch. She's sitting there now. We're not used to kind of sitting right there, unless we have a high profile. And out comes the maitre d', takes her menu, brings a menu out.
Oh, yeah?
And she's got a full-blown Del Frisco meal. Oh, wow. I think she had lamb chops and everything. And then they come back out again with their, I guess they have a key lime pie or something.
The dessert tray out to the car?
Yeah. And then she brought that home for me. So, I mean, and he's been a great client and became a great friend and a great advocate of what we do.
Right. Better than Sonic, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's better than
Stewart's.
Yeah, Stewart's. That's the other
Stewart's
one.
is
Yeah.
good. I always wanted, we have one in the Howell Freehold area on 9, and I always wanted to bring the party bus in and blow the horn.
Yeah,
and
that'd
have
be
the girl
fun.
come out and flip out with about 30
That'll be
people.
fun. Mike Grieco, Director of Operations, Shore Luxury Limos. Mike, it's that time where we give you the magic wand, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact on the world. Mike, you've seen a lot of things. You've done a lot of things. You volunteer for a lot of things. What are you going to do with that magic wand?
Oh, my goodness. I guess for me, it would just be to continue to be able to put smiles on kids' faces. We do a lot of work for Make-A-Wish and through Tom and Wingman, we help out a few other charities. And it's just a great, great feeling to pull up with a stretch at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the kids are in their Mickey Mouse hats and things going to Disney, and they see the big stretch pull up, and you can hear them screaming through the storm door, and it's like the best feeling.
That's great.
Right. That is cool, right? Nothing. I'll tell you what. That's one thing I've learned in the year I've done this show, right? Is that there are absolutely 2 slam dunks, right? Anything that has to do with kids. Oh yeah. Right, because people have a soft spot, and then anything that has to do with
puppies,
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your favorite. Your favorite.
My personal favorite. Well, Mike Grieco, where could folks learn more about Shore Luxury Limos if they want to look you up, if they want to call you, if they want to see your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your Snapchat, your Tinder, your Pinterest. What am I missing? Yes. LinkedIn. Okay, what do you got?
Yeah, we got them all. Our website is shoreluxurylimos.com. And then, we're on Facebook. And we also have an Instagram account and Twitter. And, you can...
How about the old-fashioned phone number?
Yeah, I mean, you can call us all the time. I'd be happy to take your call. It's 732-770-1126.
Very nice.
And, it's been a pleasure to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Mike Grieco, very cool. Lots of good stories. I really am just itchy to get to the break so that we can see more pictures and hear, this on-air stuff is for the birds in this particular case. And you brought me Christmas cookies.
No, those are brownies, and there's a whole story about that too that I could tell you off air.
Just out of curiosity, they weren't given to you by Cheech and Chong, were they?
No,
because
no,
I just want to know how big a bite I could take.
Yeah, right. That would be something.
Thank you, Mike Grieco. Phil and I will be back right after this.